Mikael Gardner, high 3-star, low 4-star type of guy from a recruiting class a couple of years back. He has transferred out of this program. You know, considering what Oregon was possibly losing up front on the defensive line, there was maybe a school of thought that says, hey, he could maybe be in the rotation on the defensive line this season. But I think him transferring out really flexes the muscles and shows the depth that Oregon is going to have on the defensive line. I think Gardner transferring out could, not saying it will, but it could signal the return of Jamaree Caldwell. If Jamaree Caldwell comes back, if Bear Alexander is good, this is looking like a pretty good interior defensive line. And maybe the transfer of Gardner, who is very, very much a depth piece and who I think at best would have been a depth piece, signals the depth in this defensive line room for the Oregon Ducks. And I think it signals a little bit of optimism, I think, what they have on the defensive line. I mentioned Jamaree Caldwell. I mentioned Bear Alexander. And then you look at Amari Washington, who was, outside of Derek Harmon, outside of Caldwell. He was in that next rotation, and he was certainly rotating and getting a good amount of snaps and certainly making some plays. If Jamaree Caldwell does come back, I think it's probably going to be Amari Washington as the leader in the clubhouse over Bear Alexander at the defensive tackle position, but there's a long way to go, certainly between now and then. And then you look at some of these young guys, the Terrence Greens and the Aiden Brelands and some of these other guys that they've recruited over the past couple of years that they are certainly excited about.